now you can see this is the third technique, work study. Okay, given by F.W. Taylor. Very first technique is functional foremanship that we have discussed. Second is standardization and simplification of work, that also we have discussed. And this is the third technique. And this third technique is having 4 parts. Either you can call it a separate technique having 4 subparts, or you can call these 4 separate techniques. Choice is yours. Now, because these all are related to work, that's why F.W. Taylor put in a single category named as work study. Okay, but in separate books, I already told you, these are shown as different techniques. Okay, and while solving the case studies as well, you will have to answer them differently. Alright, you cannot answer like work study. Understood? Okay, so let's understand them individually. Very first we need to have discussion over is method study. So, method, you already know, method means the way of doing a job. Very simple explanation, but here method means the best way of doing the job, because that is not the ordinary technique. This is the technique given by F.W. Taylor. Alright, and he was applying the scientific management, and scientific management already stresses on one best way. Okay, so the more stress is there on this technique as well of finding best way of every job. Means the work is divided into small tasks or pieces or operating activities. Okay, and for each and every activity, F.W. Taylor said that each and every activity, each and every single task should be studied properly. Critical analysis should be done from all aspects, and after that we need to decide that how this activity or particular task can be performed in the best way. Understood the point? It's not like that doing anything just like that. We need to think that what is the best possible way to complete that task, even a small activity. For every small piece of work, we'll have to think over it. Only then our management will become scientific. Okay, that was the technique. I would like to give you one example so that you understand in better way. Say for example, there are lot of big stones. These are kept big stones. Okay, and the company needs to shift these big stones from this place to this place. Okay, these have to come to this place. Now, what is the method? For that, company has estimated it needs 10 men, that has to be done in a single day. Okay, and they will demand at least 1000 rupee per head. Okay, so what company has thought that it has to be shifted in a single day, and they need 10 men for that, and 1 man each must be charging 1000, so total comes out 10,000. They have estimated. After that, they observe that by applying this method, what will happen? It will take more time, fine, and this is costing more. So what can be other alternative so that we can reduce the cost or we can save our time? Fine. Then one solution comes out. The best solution can be applied here. Then instead of calling 10 men, we call one crane, okay, with a single operator, which is having the capacity to lift these stones. So this crane is going to charge only 8,000 rupees in the market and for a day, and that is saving time as well. So here in this method, you have saved your money as well as time. The crane comes, okay, and by they just pick the stone from here and keeps here. Okay, so and there are the less chances of the accidents as well. Understanding? So this is the best way. Okay, I just gave you a very simple example, but like this you can understand, because this is a kind of a piece of work. So when one project is there to be completed, when the entire production is there to be done, then these are there are various examples like that. Okay, this is very small piece of work. Okay, so there are various thousands of examples. So in those thousands of pieces of work, everywhere if you apply the best method after analysis, then what happens? You get better result. Ultimately what happens? The productivity of the company increases. Okay, here you can see productivity means you need to reduce your cost. Okay, you need to reduce the time, and if you are doing it and you are getting the maximum benefit out of it, that is what you are productive, you are efficient. Okay, so that is what is being focused in this method study, that for every even a small part of job you need to search, you need to find the best method after critical analysis. Understood? And what is the objective of this study? Just to minimize the cost of labor, okay, and material, whatever cost is being spent, and the maximize the efficiency, productivity and satisfaction to customer. That is what the objective. Understood? Okay, now let's move on to another study. So the another technique given by F.W. Taylor under this category is motion study. We need to understand what does it mean, motion. Motion means movement. Understand, this is a stable point. A person moves here, 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 here. That's what the movement. Okay, like I am having the movement. Sometimes I come in this way, sometimes I come in this way. This is what the movement. Okay, so movement, you can say motion study refers to the movement of lifting, picking, sitting, standing or changing postures. So this study refers to movement of lifting, picking, sitting, changing posture, etc. Okay, so that the unproductive movement can be eliminated and productive movement can be improved. Okay, or these can be modified, or this study also having a purpose of differentiating among productive movement, unproductive movement and incidental movement. There are three kinds of movements are there: productive, incidental and unproductive. So F.W. Taylor stressed on this, that there should be a kind of study to know the movement of a worker working on a particular task. That when a worker is appointed or assigned a job, he is working on performing on that particular task, then what kind of movements he makes, in how many times he makes. So out of those movements, which are productive one and which are unproductive one and which are incidental. We cannot do anything related to incidental. We can try to reduce them by establishing the better system. Okay, but we can do something about this unproductive movement. We'll have to eliminate these. All right. Okay, and we'll have to modify them and we'll have to improve these. How? I'll just give you one example related to that. Say for example, there is a mechanic and he is working under a car. He is just downside the car. Okay, now he has carried only one screwdriver when he has got under the car. Right now he is beneath the car. Okay, so he thought that screwdriver will be sufficient to set the problem right, whatever is happening in the car. Now what happened? When he was trying to open the screw, then he was facing the problem and then he thought that screwdriver is not sufficient, I need pliers this time. Okay, then he comes out. He was there under the car, now he gets up, he goes to find the pliers, he gets the plier and then again he comes down. Alright, now after a certain period of time, he thought that pliers is also not being effective, he needs wrenches. Okay, then again he comes out and stands up and goes and finds out where the wrenches are kept and comes, and then again he goes down. So what is happening, that he 3 times went inside and came outside. All right, he got up as well. Okay, he then moves and found the particular tool what he wanted. Okay, so these were the unproductive movement. Okay, what was the incidental? He did not think that that kind of tool will be required or not. All of a sudden he thought that this can be applied over there. That was the incidental, we cannot stop that, but that unproductive movement we can stop. Okay, now let's take another example. Say for example that it has been fixed in the company for every mechanic that whenever you are going to repair a car, then along with you need to carry a toolkit which is having all kind of tools available, and when you are downside the car, then the tool should be there handy. Then in that case what would have happened? He may not have to come out again and again, okay, from the same tool which was there pretty handy to him. He could have taken out the tool and used them. So by establishing that system, we could eliminate this unproductive movement of again standing and going down. Understanding? So that is what the focus of motion study. Okay, it focuses on reducing the unproductive movement, okay, and modifying the productive movement, and establishing better systems so that incidentals movement can also be reduced. Okay, and it also focuses on designing suitable equipment, tools. Like I told you that toolkit should be there, so definitely when they do such kind of study, then a kind of equipment tool has to be prepared accordingly. So it also focuses on that. Okay, so that is what determination, very first determination of movement has to be there. How many kinds of movements are there? Then you have to determine that which is productive, which is unproductive, which is incidental, and how these can be improved, how this can be eliminated, how better system can be established to reduce these, and how these can be modified. Okay, so that in less time more work can take place. Okay, that is what the motion study all about. All right. Now let's move on to another study. This is the one more example of motion study. Okay, while I'll have to delete, erase the material written here. Okay, I'll have to pick the duster from the table that I'm keeping here. If there could be a kind of magnetic board and magnetic duster, then the duster sticks here. All right. Then my movement to go and pick duster and use it coming here, that could have been reduced. All right, if we had applied scientific management over here. But this is not the factory, that is a kind of classes going on, and this is the period in which I am having the lack of resources. You may understand that. All right, let's move on. So another technique of F.W. Taylor under work study is time study. Be focused about it. What does this time mean? Time means, see here, time study means we have to determine that what is the fixed period of time being taken in completion of a particular job. Okay, and how it is identified. There is one kind of stopwatch is used. You will be having in your mobile also, but these are separately available in the organization. By that they just record the timings even in seconds and microseconds. Okay, so what happens when a job is being completed, they notice the time, that in how much time this particular job is done, and repeatedly they do that exercise, and after doing it again and again they decide the standard time, that how much standard time is needed to complete this task. I just give you an example. Say for example, there are few toothpaste tubes. Okay, there is a toothpaste making company and toothpaste tubes are there, and these are the boxes. This is the tube and these are the boxes. So what happened? Labor has to put these tubes into the boxes and have to pack them. Okay, so very first what a worker would do, he will pick the tube box, he will open the card box, he will keep it there and stick it. Okay, so in these many activities, how much time he is taking, that will be recorded with the help of one stopwatch. Okay, then another worker will be given chance and asked to perform it a bit faster. Then he will try his level best. Okay, then the time will be recorded. Then one more person will be called and he will also be asked to do that in the same manner or to increase speed. Okay, then they will record that what is happening. In earlier they noticed that it is taking 10 seconds, and then another person came, he took 8 seconds, and then they tried to improve the system as well. They said that if we keep tubes and card box together, because earlier what is happening, tube was kept here, card box were kept here, so it was taking more time. Now they have changed the technique. They have put the card box and tube together, and then they observe again that on an average it is taking 5 to 6 seconds only. Okay, now they have fixed the standard time. That is what, 5 to 6 seconds to pack one toothpaste tube into a card box. Okay, now according to that, they have finalized that if they have 10 tube box, then how much time it is going to take. If they have 1000 tube box, okay, how much time they are going to take. Okay, and in what time limit they have to complete the task. According to that, they will also know that how many workers will be needed. Okay, so this is very much important technique given by F.W. Taylor, that each and every task should be recorded with the help of stopwatch. Okay, and the fixed time has been set as standard time, and that is informed to the worker. They have been taught or they have been trained to perform that or complete that kind of task in that set period. All right, what happens? This saves time, this saves energy. Okay, that increases the productivity of the organization. All right, so that is a kind of system. Okay, and it also helps you to define that how many workers are required at particular time to complete a particular task. All right, so that is what happened. That is what all about this technique. Time study means just to find out the standard time or fixed time to complete a particular task with the help of stopwatch. While recording it again and again, you have to fix it. All right, so this is all about that study. Now let's move on to another technique. So this is the last technique in under work study, that is fatigue study. Okay, fatigue means tiredness. F.W. Taylor said that a worker gets tired after doing continuous physical or mental work. That is what the normal human tendency, and it's very much natural to get tired after performing continuously a work without break. Okay, so he noticed that, and what happens that you must be noticing. You can take the example of any employee or in your family. If somebody is working in the organization, your father, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, anyone, or your mother, then you may ask them. They, in the morning, they remain more energetic, and in evening, when the work is going to get completed, they get tired. Understood? Okay, so what happens in the morning? If any job is given to them, then they give their 100%, they perform it with their full potential. But at last, what happens? Their efficiency starts reducing. Even then, if you ask them to continue the work, then the work will happen, but it will take more time. There are more chances of accidents, there are more chances of less productivity, and you will not get the same result as you were getting when the person was fully charged. Okay, because it is very much natural to get tired after physical or mental work. Okay, if I ask you to continuously work on computer, then after working for 2 or 3 hours, you will feel tired. And then also if I ask you, because when you feel tired, you need a break. If that break is given at least of 10 minutes, that will be sufficient for you. You will regain your stamina and your energy, you will recreate it, and then again you can come on to the work. But if I do not give you the break, if I ask you to continue when you have got tired, in that condition what happens? You will not continue with the same efficiency and same potential. You will not be giving your 100% at that point of time, and there will be more chances of mistakes as well. It happens. Okay, you can take the same example with your studies also. If you start studying in initial 1 hour or initial 2 hours, you study with the full concentration. But if you have been studying for 6 hours, then in the last hours, nothing is going into your brain. Okay, you will feel sleepy, and you will your attention will get diverted. Okay, the few things will start happening like this. Understood? Now let's understand when a worker who is engaged in operating a kind of machine, if you have put him to work for 3 hours or 4 hours continuously, then he needs a break. If we do not give him a break, then what will happen? There are very much chances that he may commit mistake, and when a person is operating a machine, there is a chance of accident as well. Okay, he may lose any of his body part, he may face any kind of disease, he may meet any kind of accident, so that has to be reduced. Okay, and even then if he continues, there is a chance of accident, one point. And another point is what? He is not giving the performance with the same productivity. Okay, if you want the same productivity, then what you will have to do, you will have to give him a break. And that is what the reason then in your school time one recess is kept, whether it is of 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Okay, but one break is kept, because you also get tired after studying 4 periods, then you get a break, and then again you study 4 periods. Okay, imagine a day when you do not get a break, then you feel lot of tiredness in your mind, and if you are studying any subject, you will not pay full attention over there. Understanding? The same happens with the worker as well. Okay, so Taylor said that there is a kind of study of tiredness as well. Okay, when you are deciding, when as a manager, okay, or as a foreman, or as a owner of the company, you are deciding the time or task, then you need to decide that break of how much time and in how many times it needs to be given. Okay, I just give you one example so that you can understand better way. The same example we are going to continue that I used at the time of time study. Okay, that was putting the toothpaste into the card box. Okay, so if the task has been given that the person has to complete his job in 8 hours, so there is one break of 20 minutes, for example. So what will happen? He will maintain, you can observe this, in initial 4 hours he may pack 400 boxes, and the last 4 hours also he has packed 400 boxes. Okay, with the presence of this break. All right, and if you remove this break and you get the complete 8 hours, then I guarantee you will get always less than what? 800 boxes. You will never get the boxes packed. These are 800. Okay, this will always be lesser, because in the last hours these workers will be very much tired and they will not be performing the task with the set standard time. So your standard time analysis will be failing over here. Okay, so if you want your standard timing technique to be workable, then you need to apply this technique as well, that is fatigue study. Let me tell you important thing, as many techniques we are discussing over here, these all techniques need to be applied simultaneously. Only then these are effective. Otherwise what happens? You are applying one technique and you are losing one technique, then you will not get the same result that you want after application of scientific management according to F.W. Taylor. Understood? So you need to apply all the techniques simultaneously. You need to fix standards, you need to keep simplifying your work, you need to do method study, time study, motion study, as well as fatigue study. All right, this is very much required. So one thing, you need to decide that how much time should be there for break. Here we have taken the example of 20 minutes. So it should be 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, okay, in which a person gets recharged, and that depends on amount of work or volume of work he is performing. All right, according to that the analysis has to become. Only this is the study. They will have to analyze that how much time break should be given, one point. Another, how many time it should be given. Say for example, I am not right now using the example of putting the toothpaste tube in the card box, because that is not so complex task. But if we take the example of any complex task in which very minutely it has to be focused, then maybe possible the person may get very much tired in 4 hours, then he needs break after 2 hours. After 2 hours 10 minutes break, then after 2 hours 10 minutes break, and then after 4 hours 20 minutes break, then again after 2 hours 2 minutes break, 10 minutes break, and then last it has to go on. So this will depend on amount of work, volume of work, and the variety of work. Okay, if the work is related to that is having very minute observation in which the complete focus of the mind is there on a single activity, then definitely it is consuming more energy of the worker. So when it is consuming more energy, he needs break earlier than compared to other activities. Understood? Okay, so he needs more breaks. So this is what the study related to finding how much time break should be there and how many times break should be given. 2 times, 1 time, 3 times, 4 times, depends on the variety of work, volume of work, quality of work. Understood? That is what the fatigue study. Okay, and this, what is the aim of this study? The aim of the study is just to reduce accidents, okay, and increase the productivity, just to keep the productivity in the same level. All right. One more thing I would like to explain here in fatigue study. See, a person may get tired due to many causes. Okay, sometimes he gets tired because he has lot of load of the work. Sometimes he gets tired due to unwillingly, if he is performing any task. We say, for example, a person is assigned that kind of job that is not suitable to him, then also he gets tired. Sometimes a person gets tired due to having uncordial relation with the management. Okay, so these are the causes of fatigueness. It's not like that only by doing any activity physically or mentally a person gets tired. A person can get tired according to this also, because his energy is being consumed in those activities as well. His focus is also being used there. All right. So what Taylor said that management should try its level best to remove all these hindrances, okay, all these causes of tiredness, so that the productivity of the organization, of the employee, can increase. All right. So that is what all about the fatigue study. Now let's move on to another technique.